Hey everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Doo Sue. I have come on to do an episode in the Edith Holden file folio that I'm mentioned in a previous video that I'm making as the giveaway for reaching 100 subscribers. So I think I mentioned in the previous video that there were a list of ephemera pieces that need to be made. So this is the first episode of making those. I may not film all of those pieces. We'll see how we get on, but got it round the wrong way. The first piece I'm making is this lovely flip out, which opens up like this, and you've got a writing spot here and you've got a pocket in here, which I've made myself. I made that pocket, so it's made with a page from the Edith Holden country diary of an Edwardian lady. On the front I've put some fussy cuts, and I've made my closure out of 3 circles from the text pages of the country diary book, and I've stuck three circles together to make that closure. Put some lace down here and a little die cut butterfly with a little pearl flower on. So in here we're going to obviously make a tag for that at some point, but I've made this pocket and I've just layered it up with a piece that I cut out of the Edith Holden country diary, and there's a butterfly there. So this page actually had the grass snake on, so I've used that as the inside. So you can just see a bit of it, but it's not terrible, you know. I know some people are not keen on snakes, but I think most creatures are harmless unless they think they're in danger, and then they might, you know, decide. I always find these fiddly, these closures. Right, so that's what we're making today. Okay. Right, so I've taken 3 pages out of the country diary of an Edwardian lady, and these are the pages at the back which list all the wildflowers in the neighbourhood of Alton in Warwickshire, where Edith Holden lived. I've cut them down ready to try and save on the video to make it a bit shorter. And so now they're 6 inches wide by 8 3/4 tall. Mine are. Okay, so you can do this with any paper, anything that you want to. It doesn't have to be Edith Holden, it could be anything. Okay, so we've got some fussy cuts out of the book, some die cuts. I've got tea dye stain to go round the pieces. I've already made those closures, so again they're out of 3 circles all stuck together to make them quite sturdy. Okay, and I've got a selection of pockets. So here's another pocket that I made myself just out of normal card, cream card. And I found a craft coloured corner pocket. This is one that Violet Doran has made. She has an eBay shop, I'll link it below. And here's a small slot pocket that she has also made in the craft paper. So I thought we would just use those as well. That's all I've got really, that unless I make more myself. I did have these 2 envelopes in my stash, and these are very pretty, and I thought they might go in, but the only problem being that they're very white inside, because we could use that as a pocket that way. I think Tania at Tatty Treasure did that in her actual video showing this when she first did this. I believe it was last year. So I may use those, I don't know. They're sort of a backup. So let's get started. So you need your scoreboard, or if you don't have a scoreboard, you know, make do. Use your ruler to fold over. So we're going to score at, just look at my notes if I may. we're going to score 1 1/4 inches at the bottom of it, and then we're going to turn it around and score 3 1/2 inches at the top of the page. So we do the bottom first. So don't think I mind what side is which, they both look the same. So we're doing 1 1/4 at the bottom. Is that right? Yes, 1 1/4 at the bottom. Turn it round and do 3 1/2 down from the top. Okay, so I should be able to fold that up like that and just burnish it, and fold that down like that. That's correct. So the writing is all up the right way. Okay, and that's what it looks like inside. Okay, so that's the first one. So we want 3 1/2 from the top, just there, and 1 1/4 from the bottom, like so. And then we just fold that up and burnish those 2 folds down. So that will be your flap. Okay, last one. I'm only doing 3 today, so 3 1/2 down. Don't press too hard. You can go even through card, I found. 1 1/4 from the bottom, and again we burnish that down like so. Okay, right, that's that done. The next thing to do is to ink around all the edges. Now this takes a bit of a time because there's a lot of sides and bits to do, so I'm just going to put you on pause and I'll ink round in tea dye. I'm back. Oh, sorry, I just came back and I was about to sneeze then. I could have done that off camera, couldn't I? Right, I'm back. I've inked all around these in tea dye. It's quite subtle, this distress ink, but it's very nice. Right, so the next step is to fit the closure. So here we have these 3. Now I haven't inked around those, so we'll just quickly do that. As I say, this is quite subtle, this tea dye. I've got the distress ink. I don't actually have any of the oxides yet. But do you know what? I never realised there was an oxide and a distress ink. I didn't know. I was watching somebody's video. I forget who it was now. It might have been Dee at Dee's Crafty Place. And I realised that she mentioned that she'd bought an oxide, I think in error, for vintage photo or something like that. And it was then that I realised there was actually oxide, and apparently it's a lot easier in certain respects for inking around things. So I may have to have a look at getting some of those. Now, this is not my best thing, putting these closures on. So I put them on like this. So you want to make sure that you can still fit that in the top like that. So I'm looking at the line of writing. So I want to glue from that line all the way around there on the back. So I'm going to hold my finger where that line is there, use my art glitter glue, and I'm going to ink up to my thumb. And then take it, and that line is going to go there. Make sure it's centered. Where's my dry wipe? Let's give that a white brown, so that looks okay to me. Okay, just get that wipe on the back, and we wait for that to dry and hope that that's going. No, I've done the same thing I did earlier with another one. The one I've shown you, I've inked too, yeah, I've inked too far up, so you have to leave a gap under here. So although it's coming up at the top, over the top of the page, I've probably inked it too far up now and ruined it. So see, it doesn't close properly, so it needs to come down a little bit like so. I don't know why I get it wrong every time. So there we are. That's what it should look like. Now I'm just going to have to bend that so that it flattens it out. Okay, right, let's leave that open while the glue. Luckily enough, that glue allowed me to move it. Right, let's try the next one. So we want it to come over the top. So what we need to do is have it shut, I think. Have it shut. And just don't worry about the top part, but I'm going to glue it up to this line here, because I can see that that doesn't come down to that line. So, right, okay, so I need to... I'm making it awkward. Oh, God. Oh, goodness me. I think every time I've tried to do closure like this, I've made a mistake. So I don't want that line to the top of the page. I want the line. Yes, I want the line. So the best thing is to put it down with it shut and make sure that is... That's a little bit out. Just there. That crease. So make sure that is going to stick down there, and then hey presto, it worked. Right, I think I now know where I've been going wrong. See, everything's a learning curve. Everything's a learning curve. Paddy, hopefully he's not going to start. I bet it's the postman. So our postman comes round quite late. So I'm going to... It says Little Lamb there, so I'm going to glue it up to that line there. Yes, you have to learn by your mistakes, don't you? So put in that Little Lamb. Yeah, I can hear he makes a funny noise, our postman. It's sort of a beeping sound when he's, what's he doing? He's scanning things, and that's the noise that drives Paddy mad, and it denotes that the postman's on his way. So right, just pause about that. It was the postman, and I knew he was going to go mad, so sure you didn't want to hear all that ruckus. Right, the next thing I did was I wanted to decorate this closure. So what I've got are these fussy cut butterflies. Again, these are ones that the lovely Violet Duran makes and sells in her eBay shop. Again, as I say, I'll link them below. So they want to go, the envelope's this way up. Well, it's not an envelope, it's a pull down piece. Wants to go this way up here, like this and this. So they're going to be on the side, so I better have them round the right way. So okay, so that's how that's going to go. Now I could put something underneath them, so I think we'll put a bit of tea bag underneath them just to highlight them. So I've got my trusty jar of dried out tea bags. Do I take a few bits out? Okay, that should be enough. Right, okay, this is where you get tea everywhere, because it's, believe it or not, even though you empty them out when they're dry, there still remains the odd bit of tea. Okay, so I just, why is it that the nicest colour is always on either the straight edge of something like a piece of paper, or in this case on the crease of the tea bag? Okay, so okay, now somebody else has pulled up, I think the courier maybe. It's non-stop here in my little close. Honestly, I can't complain. I mean, we've been very grateful for Amazon and the like while we've been in lockdown, and you know, and I still do a lot of my online shopping that way. Okay, so that's kind of giving it a bit more oomph at the back, so we'll do the same for the other two. So we'll just get these tops of the tea bag off. Paddy, you do not need to bark every time somebody turns up outside. Now then, over bossy boots. Bossy boots, Paddy. Go and lie down, Paddy Poop. Go on. Okay, so I'll just take that bit off there, like so. Right, come on, speed up. Don't delay. Don't dilly-dally on the way. Because I do dilly-dally, don't I? This will probably end up being 2 hours long. No, it won't. I'm determined it's not going to be. Ever again. Right, so that's nice. That's a nice piece. Right, I'm not keeping those bits. I mean, I drink enough tea to have a constant supply of tea bags, to be honest. In fact, I could do with one right now, but we'll wait. Okay, so we're going to put those on. So let's do that next. I'm just going to put them on with art glitter glue. And I think maybe we just need to quickly ink around these butterflies, because I can see white on the edges of them. Just a quick dab. That will do. It's very subtle, this tea dye, I think. Pinky colour. It's a pinky sort of hue to it, which I guess is perfect for Edith Holden, really. You know, it's very feminine and pretty, isn't it, Edith Holden? Which I don't know whether she was, but her books are. Right. So I'm going to put this down with some art glitter glue, like that, and then put a few dabs around this butterfly. I think this is probably what takes the most time. I quite like doing it this way though. Right, so that can go there, and give that a wipe. Press that one. Hope everyone's okay. Today's Monday. Well, I've just come back from the dentist. What a palaver that was. You have to stand outside the dentist. You get an online text from them. You have to click on a link prior to your appointment, and then you have to fill out your forms in that link instead of doing it in the surgery like we usually do. And so you have to just update them with your details, make sure nothing's changed since you last saw them. And then you turn up at the dentist, and on this same app it says you can sign in to say you've arrived, and then it says to you, thank you very much, please take a seat. But you're actually outside the door and you're not allowed in. You're not allowed to go in. They have to come out and call your name. So there's a huge queue of people on the street outside the dentist all the way down the path. And then there's a big sign on the door that says, when you arrive, please ring this number, leave a message. And so you you have to leave a quick message to say that you've arrived, even though you've already said that on the app. And then you just wait. So my appointment was at 2. I'm never making a 2 o'clock appointment again. So I hadn't realised that they shut for lunch between 1 and 2. So you don't get called in. You don't get called in. You're waiting. So I was there till, oh, it was nearly 10 past 2. And you start well, I do. I start stressing, thinking they've forgotten me. What have I not done that I should have done? So, right, so now we're going to put some lace down here. So I've got various odds and bits and pieces of lace that I thought would be perfect for these. So they're not all the same. There's one piece for that one. This is an off-white, even though it might look white on the screen. That one could go there on that one. And it's the same as that piece, which is off. It's like a pinky white, but it does look, it's a pinky off-white. And this one will do fine here, I think. So we're going to stick those on. Now I'm going to try and stick them on with this art glitter glue. I don't know how effective that's going to be. I'm not sure. So we just put a layer of that down, I think. And then we're going to, hope you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to then put this down as quick as we can, and I like mine to be even at the top. May have to put a little bit more glue there. Because this dries up clear. Okay, so that's good. And we can trim that off when it's dry. So that's one. Okay, so now we'll do this one. Make sure we've got that. That's definitely the right side. So again, just going to put a thin bead where I think it will roughly lay, like this. And then I'm going to quickly, you have to be quick with art glitter, doesn't really give you much time. So now it's down, I'll just put a little bit underneath these scallops on the edge, like that. And again, we'll trim that off in a second. So that's 2. And lastly, we have this one. Now this is a bit thicker. This is crochet trim. But it is cotton. So I don't know if that's gonna, I might have to use my Beacon 3-in-1 for this one, unfortunately. But we won't put too much on. I think the secret is not to squeeze it too hard. I just put a fine layer down like that, and then that's good. Good. Right, let's cap that before it starts erupting like Vesuvius. Give that a pat down, and there we have them. So that's the lace on, that's the closure. We won't fiddle with that at the moment because it's wet. Let me just cap this for a second. Right, so the next thing I was going to do, okay, well, yeah, well, the next thing is we're going to do a bit of decorating on here. So I've got some die cuts. Now I picked out particular ones to kind of match the colour of the butterfly. So I've got these here, so I thought they might look pretty there. and maybe because they're quite short, we could have a little butterfly again up there in the corner. That would be nice. Yes, because they're not very tall, are they, those die cuts? Unless we add another one into the mix. Look at that one on the back. On the back it's beautiful blue, but I can tell it's the back of it. So this is a nice cream one, and I'm wondering whether that doesn't really show up very well on the back of there. It's too cream. Okay, well, I'm going to stick to these, and I'm going to put that butterfly on with a bit of this webbing. So if I put my little scissors away, I'm always doing that. I get things out ready, and then as I'm using, I use them once, and then I'm just cutting off the edges into the bin. Then I start actually putting things away while I'm in process of using them. I don't know why I do it, but I do. And I've only got myself to blame. Well, I think that's a bit dodgy there. Right, so we'll link round that, we'll put that up there, and we've got this here. I'm wondering if it's too much with too many butterflies now. What about have we got any birds? I'll just have a look in my box, which is just on the floor next to me. Oops, the lid fell off. Okay, so in here I've got some things, a few birds, all sorts of fussy cuts actually, not just Edith Holden. I haven't actually, well, those are quite nice. Those are swallows. They would look quite nice, I think. We just put those on, I think. So I think I'm going to leave these and not put them on anything behind. These look like hollyhocks. I think that's the dye name. Hollyhocks. There's one a bit higher than the other. I love hollyhocks actually. Don't mind a hollyhock in my garden, but I find the garden doesn't like certain things. I don't know what sort of soil we have really. I think it's all down to that, isn't it? I should put a bit too much on there, so I'm going to spread that around and move it up to there. Okay, so we're going to have that one coming around there like so, I think, and a bit higher up like that. It looks a bit strange, as if that should be at the top, but I don't think so, because you always start big at the bottom and go small at the top. So I think we'll okay, now we've cut that piece of web and we've still got it with a butterfly. Let's cut a small piece for this. Okay, it's a bit unwieldy, that roll is. Okay, so let's put that up here. So let's give that a quick ink round. For me, it's the decorating that can take ages, I find. Oh, it take too long. I did get everything out ready though, and I'm not going to, well, I know I've been in the box and got this out, but I wasn't intending to start looking through things for other ideas. So we'll put this on So we're just gonna put some there, like so. And then it's a nice day here, Monday, mine on day, non-working day, which is great, but it's gone very quickly because I took Harry to school, which was great to catch up with him after his isolation that he's been through, bless him, and caught up with our chats. He had swimming today, and I asked him how he got on at Cubs, because he went to Cubs for the first time, not last Friday obviously, the Friday before, so I thought it was a shame that he missed his second Cubs, but he said it was great. He had a lovely time. They were cooking outside, so that was nice. So I think he enjoyed that. Okay, that lace. Okay, so that's that. Gosh, it's a bit of, oh goodness, I don't know if I like it. I love this one. I really like that one. Why does this one not look so nice? I don't know if I like the tea bag now I've put it there, but we'll leave it. We will leave it, and we're just going to leave it like that for now. Then we're going to open it out. So let's decorate the front of the other two first. Okay, let's quickly trim off this. Okay. So let's just see how that one lays underneath. That's fine. That one's absolutely fine. Right. So for this one, because it's green, I thought we'd have this one. Maybe we just have one. I'm very limited on the colours I have, actually. I just ordered, I'm just about to order some from Violet, actually. No, I think we'll stick with with one this time. Yes, we'll just have that one on there. Like so, keep it simple. Yeah, those hollyhocks are lovely, but they're not really tall enough for this. I shouldn't have put them on, I think. Now I'm regretting it. It's all trial and error, you know. You have to find your own kind of style, don't you? We're all different. All what I like, someone else probably wouldn't like, and vice versa, you know. Yes, I do remember Tania only put one of these on hers, actually. That's good. Right, that's that one done. That was quick. So I'm not sure about this one. We may have to do something with that. Throw it away, maybe. No, we wouldn't do that. We can cover things up if we're not happy with them. All is not lost. Right. This is a purple one. Just going to take that bit of tea bag off. So it's not hiding all the letters underneath. Okay, so this is a purpley one. So that's easy. I've got quite a few purples. So I have this one. We could put that one on with it. Like so. I quite like that. Okay, I'm not going to ink round these. I've decided. You don't have to ink round anything at all if you don't want to. I hope I'm in shot. I'm wondering if my husband's bonked his head on my camera stand yesterday when he did his radio show here. At the same desk he sits at to do it on the laptop, because the radio station up the road in the next village is not open yet due to COVID. So he has his equipment here and he just sets it up every time he does his show. And that's funny because I think the angle was perfect. I feel like I actually had it just right last time. And now, oh, that's actually a pinky coloured one. Oh, no, I'm leaving it. I don't want another one on there. Not that colour anyway. Okay, so that's those done. Right, so I think we'll put something in here. We'll do that at the end. So Tania, the way she did hers, she put a piece of journaling paper in here. It could be any old bit of paper that you've got, any bit of coffee dyed spare scraps. I mean, I've got some scraps here. Don't think that's wide enough. I've got some straw paper. Just looking in my folder that you've seen before, that is full of odds and ends, bigger pieces, not small ones. So there's a piece there, so we've got plenty for 3. I don't think we'll use that. I'm not sure about that. Let's get the tear ruler. I just can't cope with this tear ruler at the moment. I'm just finding it really temperamental. I press as hard as I possibly can to keep it still. But I don't want to cut too much off, because otherwise I think you waste a lot of. See, it does not want to lay flat ever since it got bent, and I don't know how it got bent. But as I say, my husband does use this desk, and he's tall, he's over 6 foot. So I'm sitting in this chair and I'm like very short. I'm only 5'4". And I bet you he's knocked his head on it or he's moved it. Now I did check it and it looked fine to me, but I'm just wondering if I'm actually in shot. Maybe I'm just, see, this is just, oh, I'm gonna have to, I don't want to have to buy another ruler really. I know they're not expensive, but it's a shame, isn't it? Perhaps if I press down on this side for long enough, it will bend it back into shape. Also, I think it depends on the paper. Obviously, the thicker it is, the harder it is to tear. All right, that's fine. So I'm just going to put a piece on here. We don't want it edge to edge, so we'll have that side. And then we've got our fold here. So I think we'll take that off. And then we'll take that off. Okay, right. That's one. Oh, now I've banged you. So sorry, I have banged you. I'm really sorry about that. Hope I didn't make anyone dizzy. Oh. Right, I'm just going to quickly ink around this. I find this tea dye, I don't know if it's dried. I mean, I've hardly ever used it. And it's fairly new. Do you wonder how long some of these are in the shop for, especially when you order them online? Okay, that's that one. Right, let's get that down. We'll use some of this Kalau. And I'm not going to go to the edge with this because it will squeeze out. And again, I'm not squeezing the bottle hardly at all. It will squeeze out the edges. It smushes out and then it goes everywhere, and it's so sticky. It's not nice, smelly and sticky. Do you realise that, Clau? You are smelly and sticky. Right, that's that one. So we do each one the same. Now, where is it? Where are they? They're hiding. This one is a bit upset because I've said it looks horrible. Thinks I'm being mean, which, you know, I'm not really. It is. I don't like it. Shouldn't have put the birds on, really. Should have shouted to me, don't do it. Don't put the birds on. We'll find a different thing to put on the closure. Could have put a flower there, couldn't I? Hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? I have to really press this down. Well, it had a new head on it, new sponge. It's one or the other that's not taking the ink up very well. Okay, here we go. Smelly and gooey, sticky and nasty glue. We won't be buying you again, I'm afraid. We stick to what we know, what we like. Now, when it wriggles about for ages. Just use my bone folder and see if I can spread that. Yeah, see, it's all come out, all come smooshing out, and there's hardly any in there. See if I can push some down there. That's it. Right. Oof. That's number 2. Now we need something for this one. Oh dear. Dare we use this? Is that going to be bridge too far, do you think? That side's nice. I don't know. Yeah, let's use it. Let's go mad and use a piece of this. So we'll take that off, and this is straw paper from I buy from Julie at Camellia Craft Designs, a shop on Etsy. It's not going to let me do that. I'm tearing. It's hit and miss. Right, we don't need to worry about that bit. We just need to take that off. So that's it. Right, yeah, so I'll link her shop as well. I'm sure I have in previous videos, but I will do it again. Violet's shop on eBay. And if you don't see what you want in Violet's shop, you can send her a message and ask her if she can make you certain things. You know, if they're not in the shop, she might be able to make them for you. She's very, very good like that. Right, okay, now I think maybe I hope Claire's okay with this straw paper because it's very thin. Oh wow, we'll just try and see just a tiny bit. Okay. Hopefully it will dry up okay. Oh, let's take that and just use this white that's in the bin to clean off the top of that. The only good thing I like about the clow is when you go to use it and you haven't used it for a day or so, there's a nice big piece that's over the top, a dried glue. It's like a cap, and I like to peel that off. That's my most enjoyable part of the glue. So that's that. Now this is where we're going to be putting the pocket or whatever we want to put on. You can put a side tuck on, you can put an envelope on. So if, say for instance, I decided to use, now where did I put them, those two envelopes? Right here. Okay, so let's have a look. This one is like this. Okay, so this would be quite nice, but it is quite white. Let's just have a look to see. If I wanted to put this in, I could put it down, say like that, glue that down and have this as a pocket. Take the card out. I suppose I could go over this with tea dye. It's quite pretty. Or we put down here slot pocket. If we do that, just looking to see which is back and front. If we do that and glue it there, there and there, we'd have all those slots, and then we could put something in the background. So what colour scheme is this one? Green. Now here's some fussy cuts from Edith Holden's book, including a couple that I haven't actually cut out yet. Well, actually I've just seen that one. I like that one there. That's very pretty. Else is that this one, so we don't have to go right down below the pocket, we can go just there like so and have that there like that. What else did I get out? Not much, did I? Actually, when I look at it, not much. Okay. Well, the box is just down by my side, and some of the pieces in here are from a different book, but another diary, but not Edith. I mean, I have got quite a few big pieces here. I mean, obviously that's far too big, but it's very, very pretty. I've got daffodils. I mean, I could always cut that piece off. Have those. They would be nice too. Some are sideways on. That is obviously beautiful. Have to cut that off. It's funny because I cut them all out, and this is the other lady, that Margaret Shaw's book. Her book is a diary. It's not as nice as Edith's, but it has got nice writing in it. That's very seasonal with the robin on. What about this dog rose? I'd have that. I don't even know which way up that. Assume that that's. Assume it's that way up. That would be nice. I like that. Actually, I'm going to put that one in there, and this slot pocket in this one. So I'm going to ink round it quickly. I'm pressing hard on this tea dye pad because, as I say, either this new pad is not as porous as some of those others. It's slightly smaller in circumference than my other pads on my other doggers. I must have bought 2 different, you know, packs from different sources, I'd say, at some point. Okay, so I'm going to put that on. So just checking where we want this. So we want this here. So I think we'll just have it there like that. Okay. It's nice and quiet here now. Paddy's obviously gone to sleep. He's probably on our bed. Elmo's in the conservatory under the table. Pebbles is outside. She's an outdoor cat. She's very rarely in. She never comes in the house hardly at all. For some reason Paddy seems to think he needs to constantly watch her, see what she's doing. He hates it when she gets up on the fence. He thinks she's doing something she shouldn't, so he'll go out and be all kind of officious and, you know, gets all agitated and stands watching her and does the odd little woof as if to say, get down off of there. But he doesn't realise that's cats, you know, that's what they like doing. Put that on there. I'd love to be able to make these slot pockets. I suppose with a craft knife, if you're really clever. Yes, Susan, you're not, so don't even think about it. Right, okay, so do we want something on that pocket? And also Tania stamped on her, which I often do on mine. So we're going to use, I've got these little pot of these nature stamps. I love wooden stamps. I absolutely love them. There's something about them. I just love them. So I'm going to put one of these in the corner up here. Well, that didn't come out very well, did it? Dare I try again? Oh gosh, no. Let's put one down here. That's better. I hope this dries up now I've used that awful cologne on it. Should have followed my gut, because it did say, my gut was saying to me, should we use that? Now I want something on here. Little butterfly. Which looks a bit misshapen, but it isn't actually. It's where they're in the book, you know, and flying about, and the way she's portrayed them. Let's take a bit of that white out. I do like to keep these. I'm always wanting to call them stamens, but they're not, are they? Antennae, I suppose they are. Stamens are on flowers. Just go around that, see if that makes it. Yes, yeah, it's okay. We have it at an angle like that. I think that would be quite pretty. Yeah, I think so. I think that would be okay. So I'm going to ink it up. I've ordered Nature Notes book, Edith Holden's Nature Notes today. It's bad really being off at home. I tend to start thinking, oh, you know, I could do with that. So I had a look at the books, and I've ordered another Edith Holden Country Diary as well. But there's lots of bookshops. You don't have to get them off of eBay, and you don't have to get them off Amazon. You can go to abebooks.com or worldbooks.com. Some of them charge postage, some of them don't. Even Music Magpie sells books. There's quite a few actually. Right, so that's that. So I think we can say that one's done, but we have to put the bling on, so we do that at the end. That's that one. Okay, put that one up there with the other. Second one is this, I want to say abomination now. What do I not like about it? I don't know. I feel like I need something here. Do you think if I put a label on, it's a bridge too far? Just so happens I have them here. Never far from me. These are mostly Tracy Fox and a few other things thrown in. Find it easier if everything's kind of in one place, really. So I've got, oh, I don't want a green one, do I? That would be a bridge too far. Let's go for a bluish one. That one says vegetation. Do you think that's too much? Too big? Quickly look. Maybe I should separate these into colours. Okay, so we've got one here that's a little script. And that's that one. There, we could have that there like that. And we've got this one that says it's French. It's part of an address, I think. So we've got that one there. That one or this one. Let me shut it and see what it looks like. Oh, that does not want, that's coming off. I may have to do a new closure for that. It's coming off. Look. I have to stick it exactly in the same place though, more or less. I don't want to stick it back on now because I'm not keen on that butterfly. Right. Let's make another one quickly. So this is the one I used, and this is an 1.5 inch punch, and just get a bit of script, and we're just going to cut. These are just odds and ends of Edith Holden paper. I'm going to cut 3 out. I'm sure I can get 3 out of here. That can be the back of one. And then we'll have one from here. Like so. Throw that away. Won't get anything else of that, I don't think. Right, so that is how I have them. Although it doesn't take a second. So all you do, and the only reason I've used 3 is to just give it a bit of strength. So that one's going to go on top of that one. I do like to keep all the writing up the same way. Oh, sounds like another courier has pulled up. Please excuse Paddy. I'm just going to pin that for a second. Just ink round this. Yeah, it's the one that I did wrong, I think, the closure, before I realised how to do it correctly. So it is going to be, I'm just checking that that will work. Now I've stuck the flowers on. Yeah, that's fine. I will stick that down. I'll use a bit of, let's do that now. That's going to keep on agitating, isn't it? I probably didn't glue down this far, actually, in all fairness. Okay, I may have to trim that. Excuse me, I'll just drop the new closure on the floor. Right, come on, let's get going. Let's just trim this. And I am going to trim this. Okay. Right. Okay, so we want it shut, and we want it down as far as it will go there, in the centre there, and then this is only to be glued on, I think, up to picnicked. Okay, right, like that. So let's put that's starting to come out. Oh, I need to get a new dangle for my glue. I'm still checking this. I'm worried that I'm going to stick it on wrong again. So we want it like that. That's going like that. So I want it, say, to there. Let's do it to there to start with. Oh no, now we've got to see, leave it out just for a few minutes. It's like a chimney. I remember when I was a little girl, my mum and dad had an open fire and used to get the chimney sweep out, and he'd have these rods, and he'd start with one and then he'd screw on another one, and he'd keep going all the way up the chimney until it reached the top. Okay, so I'm hoping, right, open, shut. Right, so now we've got the flower, the bird, we're going to put the label on, which has miraculously disappeared. I think we'll just put the label there. Okay. And I don't know what we'll put on the closure. We might just leave that until I can find something to put on it. I could still use that other one. I can keep it in my stash. That, I think, sets that off. Now I like it better. Okay, so got that done. So let's find a stamp for the inside. So I like this one, and I'm just using Vintage Photo. So, oh, that was close. Like that. Okay, and we'll do the same on the other one. Lovely. Put that away, and that. Right, now we have got this pocket that I made, which can go on here. Actually, I'm going to stencil that. I've just had a thought, just thinking to myself, what can we put on there? We can stencil it. So I've got some scrap paper here. Got my brush here. Just going to use vintage photo, I think, and a stencil. Well, that would be quite nice, I think, if we use that one. Excuse the state of it, but it's well used. So I have to put that down there like that. Okay. See what I did again with the ink? Put it to the left when I'm right-handed. You do it every time. Just holding this down. Let's hope it looks nice. Oh, that, I think that looks pretty. You can't beat some stenciling, can you? That has transformed that envelope. So I made it just out of a piece of normal card, quite thick. I think it was 200 GSM, or no, it might have been 180, and I'm just scored it, so I've got a couple of bits to bend over, and then we're going to stick that on there like so. We want something in the back, don't we? So this one is kind of purpley colour. So if we're going to have that there, let's just see, what do we want? What about that? That's pretty. What about that? That gets hidden, you see. So, or we have these violets. They're quite pretty, aren't they? Wondering whether to put them on the background of perhaps a little bit of music paper. That would be quite nice, I think. Sorry, I thought I was organised. I'll just get a piece out. Sorry about that. I had to put you on pause again. There was somebody at the door and my light fell over. So, and that startled the dog. So, I'm going to glue this down now. Just to give that another layer at the back of that flower. So I'll have it sort of there, because the pocket is going to be here, and then the flower is going to be there like that. Let's move it up a bit. We're going to put the pocket there so we don't have to worry too much about pulling it up. So we'll have that there, and then the pocket's going to be here like this. So it just has a bit of interest at the back of the pocket. I have inked around this little piece. It's very delicate. I think I need to sit down and do some more fussy cutting out of Edith Holden's books. So I have that there, and then so this, I don't want it too far down, so that will be fine. Like that, and then that pocket goes there like that. Cool. Let's stick this down. I think I've got inky fingers. I feel, do you ever get that feeling when your fingers get so mucky crafting that you actually have that urge, you want to go and wash them? That's how I feel at the moment. So we want it not right to the bottom, just, and obviously I've made it so that it's not to each fold either, so we can still fold it like this. So that, I think, is enough in there. I'm happy with that. Happy with this closure now. Okay, so I think, oh, we've got one more to do. Look, one more to do. We have a corner pocket, corner slot pocket that can go there, and we'll make a tag to go in there. So we want something up here. So let's have a look. Maybe we can use this here, coming out of there like that. That would be quite nice. I'm wondering whether to stencil this now. Let's see whether we can make a difference to that. Let's choose a different one. I've got this one here, which has got a nice pattern on it. Okay, so I'm going to unbend the folds and have it flat for a minute while I do that. And again, I'm just going to use vintage photo. To have this will show up, I wonder, on this craft coloured card. I can hear children outside. We've got two teenage girls that live across the road, not together, they're just neighbours and good friends as it happens. They go to the same school in Tame, which is a next town on the other side of us. That's very pretty. It's quite subtle, but I think that's very nice. And I think they're out and about today. They must have, well, they break up soon in about, well, for us it's, what's even less than 3 weeks now, I think. So let's just get this back. Let's ink this up. This is one of my favourite pieces. So again, when we're going to just go around the edges as best we can. I love these foxgloves. Mine's flowered now, and I only had one this year. But they do spread, so next year I should have more, hopefully. So I'm not backing that one, and I'm not taking out any of that. So let's bend these back over and just burnish these like that. So we want that there, not to the bottom and not directly against that fold. So I kind of want this to come out of the side, really. I like that. So I think we'll have it here. So let's keep it in position if we can, and glue the top half down. That's lovely. And then I can do the second half, because sometimes I get them all into a lovely position, pick everything up to glue it, and then I can't actually remember how it went back. And then I sometimes I glue it in a position and I think, oh, it's not as good as it did. So that, I think, is nice, like that. Gosh, today's gone really quickly. So I took Harry to school, then on the way back I popped into my work, the hospital, to pick up my new box of lateral flow tests. I asked the chap how long we're likely to be carrying on with these, and he said indefinitely. So just going to gently ink round there because I didn't do it. I think it just needs a bit. Yeah, so then I had to go to the post office on the way home. So, I had to pick up a parcel at Asda, which is the Asda on the hospital site. There's one right on the site of the hospital. So that was handy. So I dropped Harry off, went up to the Asda, parked the car, crossed over, walked to the hospital, which is just across the road, got my lateral flow kit, got in the car, and on the route home was the post office. Got home, took Paddy Dog out straight away before I settled down, and then before I knew it, it was like 1:30 and my appointment was at 2. It is only in the next little village. Well, it's the outskirts of Aylesbury town actually. It's a big new estate they built called Fairford Lees, which has got its own little shops and everything. So I hope that lays flatter than it lays at the moment. Yeah, pressing it down. Anyway, so that's that. So we've got nothing on here at all. So now I'm wondering what we can have on there. Maybe just a tiny little butterfly like that one, and just on its own. That I think is much better. I like that. I'm not going to back it with anything. This is not an Edith Holden butterfly. This is a butterfly. I'm using the wrong scissors, but these tiny ones are really for material. They're very, very good. But it's out of this other book by this Margaret Shaw, and I have shown it before, but she draws, well, I'll show it to you at the very end if we're not too long. She draws little pictures in amongst her diary, so it's not quite the same, it's not quite as nice, not at all on the scale of Edith. But lovely nevertheless. There, now I like that much better. So actually that did me a favour by coming off. So I think we can say we've finished. So let's bring them back in. Oh, we haven't, we've got bling to put on, so we want to get another few of those. So let me just get my bling box out. Here we are. So I have got some of those. I think they're in the bottom. Here they are. And I've got some like that, and obviously those. Gosh, I just pile everything up behind me and to the side of me. Oh, so much to tidy up when I've finished. I'm terrible. So So this is the one I've already got on this one here, which is very pretty. And then I've got these, which are pearly as well, but they're just little clusters of pearls. So I think we'll have, I'm going to use the Beacon 3-in-1 for these because they are plasticky. So we'll have that on here, on this green one. And then we will have one of these, I think, on what about now? This little butterfly is small. That's going to be far too big. So we're going to put this on this one, and like so. And then for the little one, what have we got? Let me have a look. We don't want those. We don't want those. Well, we've got these lovely iridescent little gemstones, which I've used in my peacock diary actually, here and there, but they're very pretty. So let's see if what we think of that. I think that's very subtle because it seems to pick up whatever colour you want to put on there. So that's all that needs. That needs a clean down, and then I'm just going to pop that down and use this bone folder gets used for all sorts. I'm just putting one on like that. Okay, so I mean, I like them with the label actually, but I'm going to leave these as they are. So this is the original one that I made off camera. So there it is. That's got a top loading pocket in there. And we've got this one, which has got a top loading pocket in. And we've got this green one, which has got that slot pocket inside. And we have this purpley blue one with this corner pocket in. I'm just wondering how I'm going to secure that down to make it stay, whether I just put a tiny bit of glue in there when I come to use it. Yeah, so that is everything we've made today. 3 we've made today, and I really like them. So one of them will go into the folio. I think it might be this one because it's the colour scheme. But there we have them. Let's move those away, all that away. Take that away. And pull this down if I can. So that you can see them better. Okay. Right, that's it. Okay, I'm sorry for all the interruptions. Never can tell when you've got pets what's going to happen. And I certainly didn't expect my lamp to fall over, but you know, things happen. So I'll see you all again soon. Take care, everyone. Have a good week. Bye-bye.